Coming up on today's show, we have a couple submitted recipes from our viewers. I know that you're all gonna love. We got a Italian show coming your way. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne Dede.
And I just love getting submitted recipes. I know that you do.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's a struggle. It's like, what do you make?
That's right. You want something new for those viewers that they're going to like, something different. And sometimes we can get a little different twist. So we appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. And this one that Ramona Kovash, it happens to be one of your coworkers, but that she submitted, it just sounds so interesting. So everybody that's watching, get your pens and paper, write down the ingredients so you can cook along with us. You're going to need 2 cups of rotini noodles, those are the little tiny noodles, Italian sausage, fresh baby spinach, a can of Italian style diced tomatoes, a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Very simple.
I think this one's going to be very tasty though.
It will be, yes.
And Mary Fitterer, happens to be sister of Mom's, aunt to me, submitted a pasta coleslaw recipe. So a nice side dish, whether it's winter, fall, spring, summer coming up. You're going to need 4 cups of shredded cabbage, a box of ring macaroni. Oh, this is the little ones.
Tiny ring yes, correct.
Okay, the other rotini ones are the squirrely noodles. Check that. Small onion you're going to need, red pepper, green pepper, and for the dressing we're going to need Miracle Whip, vinegar, sugar, and salt to taste. So pretty easy too.
Yeah, that's right, it is.
All right, well let's get started.
Okay. All right. I already got my water just boiling away over here to add our rotini noodles.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to start with 2 cups of uncooked rotini, the noodles. And
okay.
So we'll get them in here going. And then we have a half a pound of Italian sausage.
Okay.
So we're just going to get that chopped up here and browned, and so it won't take long before the noodles are done and the sausage, and it's very simple because you're going to just, then we're going to just be able to all add it into this one pan here, and it's going to go quickly.
When you have so much in here, from the meat to pasta to, greens, this is a complete meal just this by itself.
Yeah, tomatoes and spinach. And, spinach is a nice addition, and cook things. That fresh spinach is really good and good for you. So I'll just stir those a little bit so they don't stick. I did add a little bit of salt to the water. Okay. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And we'll look at this here. So, and I did find the Italian sausage in a Chubb. It was the Cimadine Italian sausage is what I found at the grocery store is what I'm using. And if you have something that, if it is pretty fatty, you're going to want to drain it. But even right now, to what I'm doing here,
there's no fat really coming off that at all.
There isn't. So that's going to be really nice. And then it's 6 ounces of spinach.
And now in this recipe, are we cooking the spinach too, or is that just a...
It's going to be in here. It's going to simmer. You're going to cook it until it just wilts.
Okay.
Heat up a can of Italian tomatoes and the
spinach goes with it
together and stuff. Yes. So it doesn't take long here. And like I said, this does call for Italian sausage, but I think with somebody that didn't want a meatless dish, I think just the tomatoes and the spinach and with the pasta and the cheese and stuff would be a really good side dish.
That's a nice alternative too.
Or somebody that doesn't, they're more of a vegetarian.
Okay.
And that, so absolutely, you can just kind of eliminate the sausage if you want.
Okay.
Because I did have somebody ask for the recipe, but she is a vegetarian. Well, kind of. Mostly, so she didn't want anything, right?
Okay.
with the meat and stuff, so we're just going to cook this till the pink is gone.
Okay.
And that.
Well, then
so
one thing about this, I mean, this has all the Italian sausage. It has all the spices that you need in it. So
it has the seasoning, and if you didn't have the sausage in there, you'd probably want to add a little baby pepper and salt or whatever,
Okay.
because this definitely gives it a good flavor.
well, and I think with Italian sausage too, you have like oregano and some of those spices too.
Yes, you do. So that's good. So that's about done here. So we're gonna come over. I'm gonna just get my can of Italian stewed tomatoes.
Okay.
So we're gonna add that in there. And there is a difference between regular tomatoes, canned tomatoes, and your Italian stewed tomatoes, because this does have, again, like some garlic and oregano and other seasonings in the tomatoes, where, you know, if you're just going to do regular tomatoes, you're not going to have all that seasonings in there.
Right. Well, it just depends on your taste too. If you don't like those flavorings,
Right.
get your basic ones.
Yeah. And the tomatoes are a little bit chunky, you know, they're a smaller tomato, but they're still, you're going to have it a little bit of a chunk
Okay.
in there, which is fine. So we're going to get that heated up, and we're going to check our noodles here.
And we're just going to cook those basically, what do they term that as, al dente, that it's just soft so that when we add it to the dish that it's not,
Yeah, just it needs, right.
they don't get mushy.
You don't want them mushy, correct. It needs to be just a little bit more there. But I'm going to go ahead and add my spinach to it. And the spinach is going to, you know, wilt down here.
Okay.
And I'm going to cover it up. Just put my
Steam it a little bit maybe.
lid on there and stuff. So, and like I said again, started out with a big, excuse me, enough of a saucepan here that, you know, we're going to be able to put it all in there and not have to make another one dirty.
Okay.
So, like I said, that's just going to be almost done, and then we're going to drain the noodles. And I'm going to just put that over here in the sink. And that, so.
We'll just give that a few moments and come back and
Yeah. So,
combine that all for the viewers.
right. So while they're giving that about a couple more minutes, you know, not even that, let's just go over here and talk about our macaroni salad.
Okay.
I did cook the macaronis, and it, like I said, it's a box of the ring noodles.
Well, and it's always nice, like, I know that we've made several salads with macaroni to cook and chill.
It's good. It says to, you know, chill that a couple hours before serving. But, you know, if you start with everything cold to begin with, you know, I cook these, they're chilled. You know, the coleslaw, it says, you know, to add 4 cups of coleslaw here. So we're going to
Okay.
go ahead and do that. And I did cheat. They did have the coleslaw on sale, so I shred it. So I thought, well, was a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
You know, there, so, okay. And like I said, it says for 4 cups. Didn't have those cups really full or whatever. But now if I was just going to be making this salad for a gathering or to take it someplace, you know, I'd probably just dump all the coleslaw in it. I wouldn't even, you know, but it says 4 cups coleslaw. And now it says a small onion chopped,
Okay.
green pepper and red pepper and cucumbers.
Okay.
So those I already all got chopped here, and that's just going to go into that bowl.
And you're taking, you know, you're saying small, but you add it all together, and we got a big salad here.
It is. Definitely it is. And stuff. So I think we can go over here because I'm going to take off the macaronis. I don't want it to get too, you know, like I said, too soft.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and just drain that. And I'm going to add some cold water down the sink when I'm doing this. set it aside here and let that drain for a moment.
Okay.
And let's just see.
And the spinach is cooking down already.
It is. It doesn't take long.
Now, this is something that we're just going to be able to heat everything up on the stove and let it simmer for a little bit, or is this something that we need to bake as well?
Nope, it's going to be ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to just leave that to simmer a little bit more for that. So let's
Get all
just
those flavors combined.
come on over here. So we're going to I have a cup and a half of Miracle Whip.
Okay.
I'm going to add a half a cup of sugar. I got probably kind of a scant half cup. I didn't do it. And then again, that's just a matter of taste.
Okay.
And it says a tablespoon of vinegar. And I got the apple cider vinegar. I like that. But you know, your white vinegar or anything like that would be fine.
Okay.
And then it says like a teaspoon of pepper and about a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
So it's very easy, very quick to put together.
Yeah, and most of these ingredients is probably more so in the spring and the summer when you probably have some fresh produce from your own garden. A little bit easier, but I mean, there's ingredients you can go to any local supermarket and get too.
Absolutely, you know, you can. That's just, to me, it's a nice salad to even just to take to, you know, potluck or whatever. You know, you have, it's colorful and macaronis and, you know, the cabbage and all that. It's amazing what you can put together with cabbage, and it tastes very good, you know, and stuff. So.
Well, and you don't, I mean, we put 4 cups in here, and I know, like you said, you probably would have added more, but it's not going to be overwhelming.
No, not at all. Because I didn't have the, you know, it was 4 cups, but I didn't pack them down or whatever. It was just, you know, taking that out, and it was loose in the cups. So if you start in with a big enough bowl, you're gonna have, again, you don't have to make so many dishes dirty.
You start with a big enough bowl that comes with its own lid, even better.
Absolutely. And then, you know, something like, whoop, I think we got a little cabbage on the side here. And a spoon. I like this big spatula for stirring and mixing. You know, you get your sides clean and it mixes well and everything, so it...
Now, it doesn't look like there's a ton of dressing in this salad, but I'm sure once it sets, it's going to create some of its own juice as well.
It's going to, yes. And, you know, just with the vegetables in there, too, that's going to create a little bit of a juice.
Okay.
So I think you could feed a hungry crowd with this.
Absolutely.
So it's a fair size recipe here, definitely.
Well, it's a nice change to just like a macaroni salad or just a lettuce salad, so.
Yes. Sometimes I have to feature a dish that I grew up with. Was you know, we had rice, we took raw rice or the hard rice, and you cook that with cabbage in there and some butter and some raisins, and it was really pretty good.
I suppose you had to grow up on it.
Well, I don't know. It goes over well. You know, I have taken that dish to a couple of potlucks, and like to Christian mothers where, you know, and most of our people are probably a little bit older, and they kind of forgotten it brought back memories, and it went well. So we can see it looked like we had so much spinach, but look at now.
Yeah.
It has all cooked down. We're going to add our noodles here. And this was like, say, 2 cups uncooked to start with. I think if you needed a little bit bigger dish, you could add a few more noodles without any problem.
Well, you probably could easily double that. You know, I know like your sausage packet, you know, if you buy that big enough. I mean,
Right.
and then you can have some leftovers too, depending on
absolutely.
the size of your family.
And the sausage was a 1 pound chub, and it only says a half a pound of Italian sausage, so you could have easily. So we're
Excuse
gonna
me.
put in a cup of mozzarella cheese.
Okay.
And like I said, it says 2 tablespoons of parmesan shredded. I'm gonna just take a couple of pinches out there, which would probably pretty much equal the 2 tablespoons there.
Okay.
And let's just get that stirred together. And you know, before, if a person probably kind of noticed you, it seemed like there was a little bit of liquid in there, and that's just from the tomatoes. Once you put your cheese in and your noodles, it really just absorbs that extra liquid, and you don't have
Okay.
that in there at all. So, and now doesn't that make a pretty colorful dish too?
Yeah, both of these dishes that we've prepared tonight have got some definite color and eye appeal.
Absolutely here.
Yeah, I mean, just depending, like I said, I think this is a dish that easily you could double.
And you know, just to even what we had here, it's still making a pretty good sized portion that you could easily feed, you know, 4 to 6 people very comfortably. But then too, you know, like I said, so nice to have leftovers, especially when you come from work at noon to raid
Mom and Dad's house.
raid Mom's fridge to see what I got in there, right? Okay, so we got that blended, got the burner off. So we're gonna just bring it over here.
All right.
And I'm gonna get just a couple of plates here.
And just as this salad's been sitting, it's you can see it's a little bit juicier too, so it's not going to take long.
No, and and to make it the night before is fine. But like I said, you know, it recommends to refrigerate 2 hours before serving. But everything was cold. It was good. It's just going to help to marinate a little bit. Even an hour or so would, you know, make a big difference.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you take out some of our coleslaw, and I'm going to dish out some of our Italian pasta. Tomato, you know, tomato spinach pasta is what it's called.
What our viewers miss out on is just the smells that come from the cooking, and this smell is just absolutely amazing right now.
It does, doesn't it, though? Yeah, let's see.
And again, we have to thank the ladies that submitted these recipes, Ramona Kovash for this wonderful Italian dish, and Mary Fitter for the coleslaw. Thank you so much for submitting those. Really appreciate getting those recipes. To get these recipes, just go to Consolidated's website, www.ctctel.com. Thank you always to the Workshop for being our sponsor, and thank you, Mom, for showing us how easy these dishes were to prepare.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.